G'day battlers, and today we're doing some more Sorcerous Cup battles up against Kaibi and then Yahwertle later in the video. So we have a fantastic lead here, possibly the best lead in the whole cup, Hypno versus Toxicroak. So he basically has to switch into Frostlass or else he's lost a Pokemon, so it lets us switch into Wigglytuff, who's going to be doing a ton of damage to this Frostlass. We're going to tank this first charge move. It is just an Avalanche. Shadow Ball is, we have the normal typing, so Shadow Ball isn't really going to be hurting us, so just going to be going for another Avalanche here. So we are going to shield that one, and then we should be able to charm down the Frostlass. So basically, we've got ourselves in a very good situation here just by winning that lead so hard. And they did lag a little bit there, but I think we would have been able to charm down anyway. Now in comes Linoone. Shadow Claw is also not going to be doing much to us, and I guess Wigglytuff is also good up against the Toxicroak. I mean, as long as you don't hit by a Sludge Bomb. So yeah, I guess we were in a pretty good spot to say the least, just by bringing Wigglytuff at all. The Hypno landing on the Toxicroak just really put the icing on the cake there. So we're going to bring the Azumarill in here. Azumarill is obviously very weak to Linoone because Linoone has both Grass Knot and Thunder, but basically we wanted to keep our Hypno for the Toxicroak, and we know that Toxicroak is weak to the Shadow Claw coming from the Linoone. So we kind of decided to bring in Azumarill and kind of sacrifice it, bring down the Linoone as much as possible, but Kaibi did switch into Toxicroak here, which lets us switch back into the Hypno, tank the Mud Bomb because we know we could tank it even if it was like somehow a Sludge Bomb. We'd be able to tank it either way. In comes the Linoone, and we are actually going for the Focus Blast here, just to like go for that surprise nuke move, thinking that he would not shield, try and tank the Ice Punch or whatever, and then hold off. But thinking about it more, he would probably assume that I have Shadow Ball as the big move, so yeah, totally reasonable for him to shield there. And yeah, we really just could have gone for double Ice Punch too. It was basically just a flex to go for Focus Blast. So yeah, don't do that in real games by any means, but that is a GG's there. And moving on to a game 2 now, and again we're kind of using some more unique picks, just from game to game. So we have Toxicroak up against Alolan Muck, so we switch out into the into the Linoone, sorry. And actually you'll notice that we're using the same team that he used in the last game. It's not something I'm doing the whole video, it's just something I decided to do for this game, thought it would be fun. But yeah, Shadow Claw going to be super effective up against the Hypno. Our charge moves aren't doing tons of damage, so we go for this Grass Knot here. Hypno does shield up, so we're definitely not in a great spot because Confusion is really adding up. He's doing damage to us seemingly faster than we're doing damage to him, so he's shielded up the Ice Punch there, hoping to stay in a little bit longer. We know that we do not want to bring Toxicroak back in here, and Frostlass also isn't the best up against Hypno, just because we don't think we're going to be able to get to a Shadow Ball to land on the Hypno. Now in comes back the Alolan Muck, and so at this point we can safely bring the Toxicroak back in. He does have the shield advantage on us though, so we go straight for this Mud Bomb, and actually it looks like he has Bite Alolan Muck, which is definitely an interesting one. It's actually something that I was looking at for a little bit, but at the end I decided it wasn't quite worth it, doing the more dark type damage. It was just a little better to charge up quicker on the Alolan Muck, get some more charge move threat going on, but we actually switch at the same time. He brings in a Azumarill, we bring in the Frostlass, so we went for the Shadow Ball, which was shielded up. We're hoping that again it wasn't shielded, but Kaibi seems to be very willing to protect his Pokemon here, unfortunately for us. And we try to get this next Shadow Ball off, and luckily we are able to. It was definitely pretty close there, but this definitely won't take out the Azumarill by any means. And then we're actually going to have to bring back in the Toxicroak to an energy loaded Azumarill, which is definitely not a great spot to be in. Like, you know, Toxicroak would be in a much better spot up against Azumarill if there were shields in play, or if it was in a like even energy start, but that is not how it played out, and he was able to take us down there. So I mean, maybe it's a poor line of 3, maybe, or it's just luck with the lineups. But going to game 3, we have Alolan Muck up against Noctowl, and it looks like we are kind of winning the damage output lineup, although he is getting the charge move first, so it's not the best for us. By the way, I should probably mention now that if you haven't already checked it out, I do have a Sorcerous Cup Meta Simplified infographic that you can click up there to watch that. It'll also be in the description or in the end of the video. So we go for the Acid Spray as he switches in the Toxicroak, knowing that Noctowl versus Toxicroak, from that infographic, Toxicroak actually beats Noctowl, but with the added benefit of that Acid Spray onto the Toxicroak, we are actually going to be able to win out this matchup just by quick moving down. Pretty close, but we do get out of there, and we're able to throw a Sky Attack onto the next Pokemon. It's actually a Frostlass though, so I'm not actually sure if Nightshade would be better. It does have the Ghost typing, so it probably would be better, even though Nightshade isn't the best move. But Frostlass takes us down. We've been able to take out over half of Frostlass's HP, so definitely not a bad spot to be in. We bring back in the Alolan Muck because we know we have this Dark Pulse that we can land for super effective damage. get hit by an avalanche here, which actually I wasn't really prepared for how much damage it would do, and even though we just got to that Dark Pulse, we weren't able to get it off. So this is definitely not looking great for us because he still has 2 shields. So we have to shield up this avalanche basically in case it was a Shadow Ball. I know it was an avalanche, by the way. I didn't actually know that it was an avalanche. I was just assuming that it was just now, which I guess I may or may not have at the time. But we're not able to farm it all the way down, which is so unfortunate. We're going to get hit by a Shadow Ball now. Does a ton of damage, farm down, and then yeah, we're not going to be able to take out this Noctowl in the back. So we're going for the Acid Spray just to try and even the scales in some way. We figured that he wouldn't be shielding up the Hydro Pump. Oh, he would be shielding up the Hydro Pump even if we went for it for a surprise nuke. It's not like it's maybe up against Ramberto and there's the chance that we could get it off, but yeah, he's going to take us out here with a few more quick moves, even though, or the charge move, even though we did get 2 Acid Sprays off. So that is definitely GG's there, and thank you Kaibi for the battles. So then in the next battles in this video, we're going to be up against Eye of Ra, who is a good friend, to say the, like, you know, the only added each other to these battles kind of situation, from the Ghost Stadium Friends and Battles chat. So we've got Bronzong up against Alolan Raticate, which is such a bad matchup, although it actually looks like they have a normal type quick move, and we were kind of expecting like a bite, so that would have been super effective, but we tried to catch the crunch there by switching into Noctowl. Didn't work out though, and we just got hit by a Hyper Beam. Oh man, that is so bad for this game. We're in such a bad spot. We have our remaining Pokemon are Bronzong and Munchlax, who, if you can't think of the similarity between those two Pokemon, neither of them are doing super effective damage with the, or even neutral damage with the quick move. Bronzong has Confusion, which is going to be resisted, and then Munchlax has Lick, which is going to be resisted. So we are definitely thinking, oh dear, this is not looking good at all. Psyshock does like no damage to Alolan Raticate. Probably should have threatened for the Bulldoze, but so bad. We're going to shield up this charge move here, thinking that it's going to be the crunch, thinking that maybe we can do more with confusion damage, maybe get to a Bulldoze. We switch into Munchlax again, trying to catch the crunch, but no such luck, and switches into a Azumarill in the back. So now we're at the 1-0 shield disadvantage. We have Munchlax and Bronzong up against Azumarill and Alolan Raticate. I think we can probably call this one as a GG's against us at this point. We definitely were not prepared for that Alolan Raticate, and I expect us to kind of hyper switch it up for the next game to what word am I looking for? To prepare for, to account for. Account for is what I'm looking for. I know my words, my English is good. Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to overcorrect for countering the Alolan Raticate in the next game, but we'll see how that goes. In comes something that's going to take us out. In comes the Alolan Raticate, and everything's going to take us out. Bring in the Bronzong, going for the Bulldoze, but because we knew Psyshock wasn't going to do enough, and then yeah, Crunch comes through. Doesn't actually quite take us out, so we could have gone for the Bulldoze there, but it looks like we weren't going for it. Just happy to let it go down, knowing that we would have fainted to whatever was in the back anyway. So yeah, actually he's still got a shield, so never mind. Nothing could have been done, as you already knew. So we're going to game 2, looking for some retribution, I suppose. So we have Alolan Muck up against Alolan Raticate. So this is kind of a more neutral matchup. Like neither of these guys are like total dominating the other, but it looks like we are putting out more damage output. We go for the Acid Spray to bring down the Alolan Raticate even further, and we got it off before they got off a charge move, so definitely looking good for us. And we burn a shield, which is definitely fantastic. They switch out after charging up tons of energy, so we have to be careful about that later in the game. In comes the Alolan Sandslash, and because we had so much energy, we decided to just go up for the Acid Spray, switch into Toxicroak, who's going to be able to absolutely melt the Alolan Sandslash, just because Counter does so much damage to the Steel and Ice typings, plus the Acid Spray. It was definitely not looking great. Now, this is also looking really great for us, because we have Toxicroak with 2 shields up against Azumarill with 1, plus we have the energy advantage. So Toxicroak is able to take out Azumarill in the 2 shield matchup if they shield a Mud Bomb. So as long as you get a Mud Bomb shielded, you can then throw 2 Sludge Bombs. One Sludge Bomb gets shielded, you can land the other one. So the fact that they only had 1 shield to our 2 basically meant that we could just go straight Sludge Bomb and we would be able to win out this matchup. And we're actually able to counter down before we have to burn that second shield, so that's just even better for us. In comes the Alolan Raticate, who has a ton of energy, goes straight for the Mud Bomb. Doesn't quite take out the Alolan Raticate, and we tried to switch out there to catch the charge move, but it didn't happen, so decided to burn the shield. It is just a crunch. And go for the counter down. Unfortunately, another crunch coming through because he had so much energy, but Alolan Raticate is so weak at this point that we should be able to take it out with one quick move from anything else. So in comes back the Alolan Mark, get a little bit of energy. Actually, I did not realize that was the third Pokemon. I guess we took out the Alolan Sandslash really quick, so that game kind of flew by. So we've kind of gone from very hard loss to very hard win in that second game. So let's see the equalizer in the game 3. Zuma up against Alolan Sandslash. So it's definitely an okay matchup if we land the Hydro Pump. That wasn't a try and switch there, it was kind of just looking at what we had. Wasn't really sure how we were going to play this out. We were a little bit worried about a Gyro Ball coming from the Sandslash, but that was just an Ice Punch, and we're thinking, okay, maybe yes, Ice Punch Bulldoze, let's hope. And it is just another Ice Punch, so I'm assuming that he doesn't have Gyro Ball. Go straight for Hydro Pump, hope that no shield comes our way, and no shield. That almost annihilates that Alolan Sandslash, which is definitely fantastic. Alolan Sandslash a really interesting one in this cup, and one that I don't think I have one built, so I might have to build one for this cup to test it out a little bit. Now in comes the Hypno, who we're kind of worried about a Thunder Punch coming through, and we get this Hydro Pump off before a Charge Move comes through, so I'm not sure if that was the CMP tie, or yeah, looks like it was a CMP tie actually, or just a turn-based thing, like we finished our quick move before they finished theirs, so we got ours first. We actually tanked the Thunder Punch, so it wouldn't have even mattered the CMP. Able to bring back in the Alolan Mark. We're definitely not bringing in Toxicroak, and in comes the Noctowl, so we're going to go for the Acid Spray here. Because the Noctowl had the energy advantage, we weren't sure if Toxicroak was going to be able to beat down the Noctowl, so we decided to go up to the Acid Spray just to make sure that Toxicroak would be able to take it out. So burn the shield here, and then we're going to be able to counter down the Noctowl. We're kind of not too worried about taking too much damage on the Toxicroak because obviously he has Hypno in the back. Now that was probably actually a mistake on my part. I definitely shouldn't have burned that shield. I should have let the Noctowl take us out and then farm down with the Alolan Mark. Although I guess this way I am able to burn a shield off of that Hypno, so maybe it's worth it. We basically traded a shield, so yeah, maybe not the worst thing in the world. Hypno actually burning the energy to take out Toxicroak here, so I guess trying to block us from doing the back-to-back charge moves, which we definitely had the energy for. Could have got another Mud Bomb off, but yeah, able to take us out before that. Hit by a Thunder Punch, so yeah, we're able to farm down the Hypno there, and that is GG. So thank you to both Kaibi and Ivra for the battles there. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe because there's plenty more Sorcerous Cup coming out this month. Stuff, videos, battles, you know, the whole YouTube deal. That stuff all coming out. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially the subscribe one. Thank you to my patrons, Militum9458, Yahwertle, brajSF, NotRandyN3wman, and Negative Ben10. Whole new order again. You know, keep switching up on you. And yeah, because they are some truly awesome people who have supported on Patreon. And I will see you all in the next video. I decided to leave that sound in. I don't know if you can hear it over like the music, but they were birds. Anyway, bye.